In this lecture, we're going to learn how we can sync the UV and 3D layouts to select parts of our mesh. We're going to learn how to be able to select a part of an object in both panels so that we can see what's what and plan how we can texture our model. So let's learn how to do this in Blender. I currently have my cylinder selected from the previous lecture. Now the problem we have is that we can select any of our mesh parts here, but then the UV map disappears in its entirety. Even if we select multiple parts of our mesh, nothing reappears. If we press A a couple of times, then we get the whole mesh back, but it's only with everything selected that we can view the mesh. We can, however, as long as everything is selected here, select individual parts of our mesh in the UV map without it having any impact over here. But the reason why this might not be ideal is that we can't determine exactly what vertex is in what part of the mesh. So say if I wanted to make this the top and this the bottom of our cylinder, and I wanted to make this cylinder into a Coke can, that would require perhaps a slightly different form of texturing. How would I know which of these two faces is the top and which of these two faces is the bottom? Well, to do that we're going to have to sync selection, and that is a very simple process. All we have to do is click on this button here next to the bounding box icon, which says keep UV and edit mode mesh selection in sync. One left click, and now everything appears to have been reselected. But watch what happens now when I select a vertex or an edge. We can see that this is selected, our UV map has remained, and if we zoom in we can see which edge has been selected, and we can select, move around our mesh, and we can see that each of these edges is being selected. We can do the same process for faces. So we can see now that this one is our top face, which means that this one is our bottom face, and we can select any of these faces as well as vertices, so we can select any vertex that we want. Make a note in the UV editor when it comes to vertices that if a vertex joins more than one face together, which it normally will, or if it joins more than two faces together, that vertex might be duplicated when unwrapped. But this is not really a problem, as the main focus when unwrapping UVs is to make sure all of the faces are correctly formatted. So there we go guys, that's how we can sync selection when UV editing.